Previously we see a demon lord named Varvados reincarnate as a 10-year-old boy named Ard Meteor, where Ard met a elf girl named Arena. Ard and Arena became close friend and grew up together. Ard and Arena go to magic school together, where they met a young succubus named Jenny and they became close friend. During school tournament, Arena was abducted by Elsa the dragon. Ard then, after saving Arena's father, rescue Arena after killing Elsa the dragon. Later, a young girl named Sophie emerges from a dungeon after training for 3 years only to find that the entire world has changed. A masked man informs her that time moves differently within that particular dungeon, so while she was inside 3,000 years have gone by. He then reveals to Sophie that her sister Lydia and the demon lord Varvados both died long ago, but that Varvados' soul has reincarnated into Ard Meteor. Meanwhile, at the academy it's revealed that a festival will soon be held that will include a stage performance which also there is a high chance that there will be an attack on the school during festival, so principal wants Ard to protect school and its student, to which Ard agrees. Wants Ard to perform in. Sylvie arrives at the academy moments later and confronts Ard about his reincarnation and about what happened to her sister Lydia, but Ard feigns ignorance. Meanwhile, Olivia, who knew Sylvie 3,000 years ago, is very interested in Sophie's claims. Sylvie then challenges Ard to a duel, and when Ard is quickly and effortlessly victorious, Sophie loses her temper and summons a powerful word which negatively affects their classmates. This leads Arena to scold Sophie, who begins to cry as Arena reminds her of Lydia. When they return to class, they decide that the stage performance for the festival should be about the life of Varvados, with Ard playing Varvados, Arena playing Lydia, and Sophie playing the evil god for their class project. However, they decide to host a maid cafe with the maids in very risque outfits designed by Ginny. The other girls in class initially refused to wear these outfits because they thought outfit is too pervy. On the other hand, boys love it but quickly change their minds after learning that they'll be able to serve hard and potentially seduce him too. Meanwhile, the masked man from earlier watches all of this unfold and is looking forward to how Sophie will react when she learns what really happened 3,000 years ago. On the day of the festival, Sophie causes chaos and is sent to help out at the maid cafe instead. However, she continues to cause chaos there as well, and Ard is forced to clean up after her mess. Later, Ard comes across a tree rumored to contain an item sealed by the Great Sword King. Olivia then reveals that she's entered the Great Sword King tournament and also entered Ard against his wishes. The tournament's prize is a replica of Varvados, the sword wielded by the Great Sword King, which originally belonged to Lydia. Once the tournament begins, Olivia, Irina, Ard, Sophie and Jenny all win their respective tournament duels and quickly become finalists before the final duels. However, Jenny asks Ard to compete with her in a boy and girl beauty contest. Once there, Ard surprisingly spots Geraldo at the beauty contest, who confesses that he and Jenny were friends when they were younger, but his father taught him that anyone that wasn't nobility was inferior, which led to him bullying her. As such, he plans one day to apologize to Jenny and hopes he'll be forgiven. Ard and Jenny then go on to win the beauty contest, which infuriates Arena as she also wanted to enter the contest with Ard. Once the tournament finals begin, Ard is forced to face Olivia, who tries to force him to reveal his true power, but Ard refuses and accidental blasts Olivia far away. This leads to both of them being disqualified. Ard is disqualified for cheating by using magic and Olivia for not being able to make it back in time. Arena then duels Jenny and is eventually victorious after a close match. Meanwhile, the masked man is disappointed at how events have played out so far and decides to take matters into his own hands while performing the play. Later that same day, Ard realizes that this stage performance is based on a battle he fought in his past life, which he won thanks to Sophie laying magical traps on the battlefield and claiming the enemy commander's sword. Demise Argus for herself. As the actresses and actors wave to the audience, Sophie spots someone who looks like Lydia but turns out to be someone else. The mysterious masked man then approaches her. The next day, a very serious Sophie wins her final match against Arena and becomes the tournament's winner, an accomplishment which grants her the Varvados sword replica. Later that night, Ard meets Sophie with Ginny and Arena secretly watching from afar. Sophie, with glowing red eyes, vows to kill Ard, and Ard reveals that the replica of the sword Varvados is in fact the real one, and the item sealed inside the tree is its power source. force. By combining the two, she is able to rebuild the completed Valve Galgus and then proceeds to also summon her demise Arga's sword, which powers her up and changes her outfit. Sylphie then immediately attacks Ard as the masked man joyfully watches all of this unfold. It's then revealed that the masked man plays Sylphie under mind control and showed her a memory of Ard murdering Lydia. Both Irina and Jenny try and stop Sylphie, but their efforts goes in vain. Ard has no choice but to revert to his Varvados form to defend against Sylvie's attacks, but when she begins to hear Lydia's voice, the mind control is broken and she calms down. Disappointed that his plan failed, the masked man takes matters into his own hands and retrieves the two swords. He then attempts to kill Ard himself, but the two swords reject him as he is not powerful enough to wield them. So Ard uses this opportunity to end the man's life. As the fighting comes to an end, the spirit of Lydia is shown to inhabit the demise Argus sword and tell Sylphie that her death was not Ard's fault and urges her to focus on living a full life rather than trying to avenge her before disappearing. She calls Ard an idiot, which doesn't surprise him at all. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope to see you all again in the next one.